Rome. For centuries, whenever its name is spoken, it brings to mind grandeur, power, and one of the greatest empires in human history. Among the thousands of temples, palaces, and monuments built by the Romans, there is one structure that continues to astonish even the world's greatest architects and engineers today. A structure that has stood for nearly 2,000 years. A structure whose dome remained the largest in the world for more than 13 centuries after it was built. And a structure whose construction, achieved nearly 2,000 years ago without modern technology, still inspires awe and admiration. That structure is the Pantheon. The Pantheon was a temple dedicated to all the gods. Perhaps the finest achievement Roman engineering ever reached. The Pantheon is not merely a building made of massive stones and towering columns. It is also a symbol of Rome's power, knowledge, and desire for immortality. And the story of the Pantheon is even more fascinating than most people realize. It all began during one of the most powerful periods in Roman history. In 27 BC, Marcus Agrippa, one of Rome's most influential statesmen, commissioned the construction of a new temple with the support of Emperor Augustus. The temple was dedicated to all the gods of Rome. This was the first Pantheon. But fate had different plans for the temple. One of the great fires that swept through Rome completely destroyed the massive structure. Yet the Pantheon was rebuilt. Then it burned again. Once more, it was reduced to ruins. It was as if history itself kept putting it to the test. Then, in AD 118, Emperor Hadrian, who sat upon the throne of Rome, decided to rebuild the Pantheon once again. But this time, Hadrian did not want an ordinary temple. He wanted a masterpiece that would display the power of Rome for eternity. And so, from its ashes, the Pantheon we know today was born. Rome's most talented engineers and master builders were summoned, and construction began. The goal was not merely to build something enormous. The goal was to achieve the impossible. Because the dome they envisioned was unlike anything the world had ever seen. Even today, the first thing people notice when they step inside is the sheer scale of the Pantheon's dome. You immediately feel small. You lift your head and fix your eyes on the ceiling. And then a question naturally comes to mind. Was this building really constructed 2,000 years ago? The Pantheon's massive dome measures approximately 43 meters in diameter. Even more remarkably, the distance from the floor to the highest point of the dome is also about 43 meters. In other words, a perfect sphere could fit inside the Pantheon. This was no coincidence. It was a deliberate design. Through this geometry, Roman engineers sought to represent the perfection of the universe. But the real question was this: how could a dome spanning 43 meters remain standing without collapsing? Even today, that question continues to amaze people. Because the Pantheon's dome contains no steel, no modern support systems, no reinforced concrete. And yet, it still stands. For this enormous dome, Roman engineers developed a solution that was nothing short of brilliant. Heavier materials were used at the base of the dome, while lighter materials were gradually introduced as the structure rose upward. Near the very top, they even used lightweight volcanic stones such as pumice. This dramatically reduced the weight of the dome. The square recesses visible in the ceiling were not created merely for decoration. They also played an important role in reducing the overall weight of the structure. In other words, the Pantheon's beauty and grandeur were themselves part of the engineering solution. And then, almost inevitably, your eyes are drawn toward the very center of the dome. The oculus, the most famous feature of the Pantheon. A massive opening nearly 9 meters in diameter. the only source of natural light inside the building. There is no glass here, no cover, no protection. The sky is directly inside the structure. As the sun moves across the heavens, its light travels across the walls throughout the day, almost like a giant clock. When it rains, raindrops fall directly into the building. But Roman engineers had already found a solution for that as well. Thanks to a sophisticated drainage system built into the floor, any water that reaches the ground is quickly carried away. 2,000 years ago, without any modern technology, the Pantheon was more than just a temple. It was a message from Rome to the world. We do not only know how to wage war, we also know how to build. The massive granite columns standing at the front of the structure made that message impossible to ignore. Each column weighs approximately 60 tons, and these columns were transported all the way from Egypt. Just imagine. Stone columns weighing dozens of tons were moved across hundreds of kilometers, loaded onto ships, carried across the sea, and finally delivered to Rome. Even today, the scale of such an operation is astonishing. Over the centuries, Rome changed. Emperors came and went. Wars were fought, invasions began, and eventually, the Western Roman Empire collapsed. Many monuments were destroyed, many were abandoned, many were dismantled stone by stone. But the Pantheon survived, because in the 7th century, a crucial decision was made. The massive structure was converted into a Christian church. That decision changed the Pantheon's fate forever. While countless Roman buildings gradually fell into ruin, the Pantheon continued to be used. And because it remained in use, it was preserved. As a result, it survived all the way to the present day. Throughout the Middle Ages, people looked upon the Pantheon with admiration. During the Renaissance, it became something of a school for architects. Its enormous dome, and especially the oculus, fascinated everyone who saw it. Architects from across the world traveled to Rome, hoping to uncover the secrets of the Pantheon. Even the famous artist and architect Michelangelo could not hide his admiration when he first saw it. According to Michelangelo, this enormous structure seemed less like the work of men and more like the work of angels. And indeed, the Pantheon went on to inspire thousands of buildings throughout history. Even today, traces of the Pantheon's design can be found in countless important structures, from Paris to Washington. Every year, millions of people visit the Pantheon. From the outside, it already appears impressive. But the moment you step inside, everything changes. The noise begins to fade. Footsteps echo through the vast interior, and your eyes are naturally drawn upward. As the beam of light streaming through the oculus slowly moves across the space, you feel as though you are standing in the very center of 2,000 years of history. The same light, the same dome, the same stones, the very same sight that a Roman visitor would have witnessed 2,000 years ago. And that is where the true magic of the Pantheon lies. Because the Pantheon is not merely an ancient building, it is a living testament to what the human mind is capable of achieving. Empires fell, kings died, wars were fought, yet the Pantheon endured. And even today, it continues to rise silently toward the sky, just as it did 2,000 years ago. Because some structures are not merely built, they are created to be immortal.